that dying, and God Daniel, oh what that dying. This is the voice of the patriot. Here we speak truth to power. From the newsreel, we endeavor to keep it real. Here we don't criticize, but if we must, we will do it only on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Oh yes. From the newsreel, we endeavor to always keep it real. Remember, we are in the service of God, and country is the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is taken from Ghana Web, and it says, "Take me wherever you want." Annoh Dompreh responds to beat NDC member comment. And I read, "Now the minority chief whip and member of parliament for Nsawam Adwajiri, Frank Annoh Dompreh, has said he is ready to face the full rigors of the law should he be charged with inciting people to resort to violence. Now the legislator has come under heavy criticism after he recently called on supporters of the NPP in Ablekuma not to stand by their fellow party members in confrontations with members of the National Democratic Congress. Now, addressing a gathering of party supporters during a visit by the NPP caucus leadership to the party's parliamentary candidate for Ablekuma North, Annoh Dompreh said, "If indeed you are a member of the NPP and you see your fellow party member fighting a member of the NDC, join your party member to beat the NPP member very well." Now, the Nsawam Adwajiri lawmaker accused the NDC of deliberately obstructing the Electoral Commission from completing the coalition process and warned that the NPP will not tolerate further delays. However, the rallying call has been widely viewed on encouraging the party's grassroots to resort to violence, with some even calling for his prosecuting. But speaking in an interview with Bullet TV, monitored by Ghana, where Frank Annoh Dompreh stated that he is unshaken by threats of prosecution. However, wherever they want to take me to, I am ready. I am waiting for the NIB or whoever. They say they want to take me to court because I have instigated people to resort to violence. I am ready. So these are some of the dishonorables we have in parliament with very little common sense. Very little. They are only good in making noise. They can make noise from morning till night with no common sense. No wonder they say empty barrels make the most noise. My brother, these are very partisan people. They do not think Ghana. They only think party. Party here, so they will destroy the environment in order to conjure the money. If 1 trillion people die in Ghana, they don't care. After all, it's all about their party. Before they give you any hearing, they would want you to provide a party card before you can get audience. My brother, the creme de la creme of our country continue to journey downstream into the deepest abyss, whilst the daft ones with no common sense are those we present to the world as our very best. We always put our wrong foot first. Under normal circumstances, Annoh Dompreh should be a foot soldier who is walking from place to place, my brother, my sister, not in parliament. A foot soldier doesn't need any brain. All he needs is a head full of air. so that he could be told, go here and do this, go there and do that, go there and do that. That's why he's a foot soldier. He doesn't need common sense. It doesn't mean all foot soldiers don't have common sense. But, my brother, my sister, the point we are making is that in our political landscape here in Ghana, we don't need common sense to be politicians. Listen to what he's saying. He goes to talk. There's no common sense in what he has said. His party is not able to bring him to order. He is still talking because politics in Ghana is all about talking. Talk, 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 and go away. It's sad. Well, I am glad, very, very glad that he has been brought to order. And what I'm seeing here, my brother, my sister, I want to look at it. It's sad. It's truly sad. Oh, yes. It is sad. It is very, very sad. My brother, I'm reading this from my Joy Online. And it says, NIB questions Annoh Dompreh over inciting people to whatever. That's the same issue we are talking about. My brother, my sister, let's look at it. Now, the National Investigations Bureau has questioned the Minority Chief Whip, Frank Annoh Dompreh, over comments he made allegedly inciting New Patriotic Party supporters against supporters of the governing NDC. Now, the Minority Chief Whip, who also serves as the Member of Parliament for Nsawam Adwajiri, urged members of his party last week to strongly oppose the NDC. He made the comments concerning the disputed Ablekuma North parliamentary election. The NIB questioned him as part of an investigation to determine the motive behind the alleged insightful comment. Joy News understands that the MP visited the NIB office to answer questions regarding the matter. Well, my brother, my sister, I am happy that swiftly he has been hauled before the NIB, and I am glad and hopeful that something will come out of this. Our country is gradually becoming lawless. Gradually becoming lawless. It is sad. Very, very sad. A lawmaker who is so lawless, asking people to take the law into their own hands. A lawmaker who should be educating the people about the law. The least said about this guy, this hooligan, the better. This vandal, the better. He was in parliament helping to break chairs and tables, right? Breaking microphones. And they are still proud of this. Suspended member of parliament who was brought back. Instead of bowing down their heads in shame, they are running around, running their mouths. Now there is something here that I need to look at. And it's quite interesting. I need you to come along so that we digest this properly. I'm reading this from Peace FM Online, and it says, I know NDC gurus who own state lands. Stop this hypocrisy. And who is saying this? Former Defense Minister to Mahama. And I read, now the former Defense Minister and MP for Bimbila, Dominic Nitiwul, has hit hard at the National Democratic Congress, calling out the party's hypocritical and double standards over ownership of state lands. Now the NDC, through its Operation Recover All Loot, has accused some members of the erstwhile Akufo-Addo government of grabbing state lands and have vowed to expose and retrieve the lands. Discussing the issue on Asempa FM, Nitiwul disclosed that grabbing of state lands was started by the NDC Adding, he knows a number of NDC stalwarts who own lands belonging to the state. The idea of disposing of state land started under Jerry John Rawlings. This was not happening in Ghana, but it started in 1996 or 1998 by the NDC under Jerry Rawlings. They were calling it infilling. The colonial masters used to put up small buildings on 1 acre of land. So the idea was to give these unused portions of land to developers to build houses on in places like cantonments. The entire cantonment was state land. From cantonments to 37, airport, Kanda, and where Jubilee House is now, they were all state lands. So the land under Rawlings in West Airport, East Airport, East Legon, East Westlands, etc. The Rawlings regime released all these lands. Nobody criminalized it. He revealed. My brother, state lands that have been captured, they are different from state lands that have been sold to individuals. How do you tell the difference between capture and sale? What is the value of the land? At the time that the land was given out, if the land cost 1 million and you acquired it for 20 cedis, my brother, that is state capture. Under what circumstances did you buy a piece of land way beyond reasonable arguments? Under what circumstances did you buy a piece of land way below its cost? That is state capture. My brother, my sister, if Nitiwul says that he knows some gurus that have also captured state land, why would they not go out there and say it so that we can get our land back? It is sad how some of these politicians speak these days. Oh, we are not the only people doing it. When these people were in power, they were also doing it. They also did it. They are not looking at the legality of the issue, the appropriateness of the issue. They are only interested in who did it, and therefore they can continue doing that. Yet we have Segleme that was started and you didn't continue, but stealing that was started by somebody that you can continue. So many abandoned projects. You are not ready to continue, but you are ready to continue stealing and capturing land. What thieves? You are not ready to build. You are not ready to develop the nation. You are only ready to loot. It hurts me. When anybody comes into power, it's all about satisfying party people and not satisfying the nation. Nitiwul, please, if you know some people who captured land, release their names if you are not a coward, so that at least we can follow up and collect the land for Mother Ghana. The last story I want to look at. There's one here I wanted to look at, but I'll leave it for another time. This one is from Graphic Online, and this was published on February 10. My brother, my sister, yesterday. And it says, no NDC, no NPP, just Ghana. Acting NYA CEO Osman Ayarga promises to prioritize youth development over politics. Wow. Early this morning, I woke up to a certain news card or code card. And what did it say? That this same man here called Osman Ayarga had said that if you are coming to his office you must come with a party card. If you don't have an NDC party card, don't approach him. But because we are not journalists who just spread rumor, I decided to go underground and find out if any credible media house has published that thing. And it looks like no credible media house has published that. You only see it on TikTok and on Facebook by faceless individuals. My brother, when I saw it, I decided to go underground. And this is all that I see. In negation to what they claim he said today. This is Osman Ayariga. No NDC, no NPP, just Ghana. Acting NYA CEO Osman Ayariga promises to prioritize youth development over politics. And I read it. Now the acting chief executive officer of the National Youth Authority, Osman Ayariga, has pledged to focus on youth development, setting aside political affiliations in his leadership. In an interview with Wezo TV on Sunday, February 9, 2025, Ayariga stated that his primary goal is to create opportunities for young people, regardless of their political leanings. I doff my heart for this gentleman here called Osman Ayariga. Foot soldiers of his party are going to come after him. They will say, hey, when we're suffering and struggling and these people were mistreating us, didn't you see? Today you come into power and you are saying you are going to consider them and give them what we fought for. No, it can't continue like that. It's all about Ghana. My brother, look at the story of the prodigal son in the Bible. He also worked with his siblings. And at a point, he said that he wanted all his inheritance before his father even died. The father asked him if he was sure of what he was saying. He was adamant, and he said yes. The father gave him everything that was in the name of his inheritance. The Bible said he traveled all the way to a foreign land, enjoyed a good life, womanizing, drinking, in fact, gluttony. You know what it means to say gluttony, right? He was eating and drinking and misbehaving. My God. When he blew out everything and reality stared at him with all realism, my God, he started to work for his daily bread. Food that pigs were eating, sometimes he felt like it was jollof. He wanted to eat it too. He struggled with pigs over pig food. Finally, he told himself, and that's why today I started with, how did I stray from culture? He looked at himself and said, my father's house abounds in milk and honey. How did I find myself in this strange land, struggling and suffering? Please, I must go back home and plead with my father not to be one of his princes. He should just accept me as one of his servants, because in my father's house, servants are better fed than some of these people I see here. So he journeyed. Now the Bible says, his father was sitting down looking at the horizon, and he saw somebody coming from the horizon. What did he do? He sent his servants to go far and wide and welcome this person, because he saw the image of his son. His other brothers were jealous. He took all this, and when he came home, you slaughtered the fattest animal for him. No, but his father called these people and said, listen, you were here all this while. Part of everything, he was lost and gone. What he went through, he's just lucky that he's still alive. It's good that he has found himself back home. His conscience would continue to hurt him and to haunt him for how he treated all of you here by taking his and blowing it and still coming to sponge on what you didn't take. Let his conscience deal with him. My brother, this is the same story here. The big cake is for Ghana. Some wicked people came and stole a big chunk of the cake and went away. Another group came and they are also saying, let us also steal the rest of the cake after all the other people did it. And some wise people are saying, no, please, let us keep this cake, grow it, so other people can come and be part of it to grow our nation. Foot soldiers will go after him because foot soldiers are so vindictive. But Osman Ayerga, you are not doing anything wrong. You are a very, very powerful, civilized patriot. And I would wish to shake your hand one of these days. Stand firm because they will come after you. It's all about Ghana. They will come after you. I said, it is all about Ghana. May God give you the power and energy to continue in this state. In the interim, is the voice of the patron.